Welcome to Kayfabe Wrestling Talk. This is where you come here on wrestling should be talked about. Handsome Nick Hanlon here. Make sure you like and subscribe. Monday Night Raw Rundown. May 25th, 2026, Monday Night Raw. And we got some straps. I'm strapped up here. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know why you think I'm wrong so I can tell you why you're wrong, because if you think I'm wrong, then you're probably wrong. Kayfabe Wrestling Talk, where you come to hear wrestling should be talked about. Let's get into Monday Night Raw for May 25th. And Raw starts with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's talking about Mr. Brock Lesnar going up against Femi in Italy this Saturday. The biggest rematch in the history of any sport ever. Oba versus Brock. Apparently Brock was going to retire, but Oba did open up a chest in Brock where a beast was hiding, and it now has arisen, and it wants revenge of Oba. Oba signs the contract. He says, last time I was just trying to beat Brock. This time I'm going to kill Brock. Heyman looked very scared the entire time. We got Penta. We got Javon Evans. And this was a flippy floppy versus flippy floppy. Flippy floppy versus floppy flippy. Javon Evans he's actually doing some heel moves, which I enjoyed. They shook hands. They did a little fun dance. And then Javon Evans kicks him in the head while he's doing the dance. Heel move. He does apologize later for that heel move, but that was a heel move. Gotta hand it to him, though. A veteran move as well. Evans does a suicide dive right into the corner of the desk, his back, spine first, right in the corner of the announce table. He also did his OG cutter, and he hits his back on the ring, right on the corner. And this guy's got to be careful. I mean, he hits an OG cutter at one point. That was insane. But, in the end, Evans goes for an OG cutter. He gets super kicked in the head. Reversal, Mexican Destroyer, Penta wins. The brutality of this match was incredibly impressive. Great to see Javon's doing that heel stuff. He's maturing before our eyes. He just needs to be careful. I'm really nervous about this kid. Makes me a little nervous, these moves and these back shots he's taking. I mean, man, it could make your career a lot shorter. But apparently Logan Paul's got a torn tricep. And what a shame, he was getting such great heat, but he'll get more heat when he comes back. Looks like Braun Breaker's not going to team up with Theory, though. It is Freebird rules. Also, Tyson says he wants to take out everybody that messed with Logan and got him injured, so we'll see. We got Valkyria and Bayley versus the Judgment Day. Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. Michael Cole talking about Danhausen's NBA curse was pretty cool. Listening how the Knicks all of a sudden are on a playoff run and the Cavs are on like a 10-game losing streak. Corey Graves says he does not know anything about that. He doesn't watch fake sports. I don't disagree. A failed distraction by Dominic gets Bayley and Valkyria a win. Great little match. They were looking like a tag team, a hell of a tag team. Rodriguez really throwing that weight around. But she hit a double high cross body that looked awesome. She really needs to start dominating. Raquel Rodriguez, when she turns it on, and I'd like to see her in some singles matches, starting to go from some straps. We got Bella and Paige as champions right now, and Rodriguez doesn't have a strap. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. She needs to start dominating. Anyway, here comes LA Knight talking about, he's entered the King of the Ring tournament, which I guess is starting. And he's kind of talking some crap about wanting to get Roman. Jimmy comes down because they bring up the Usos and mention that the Usos aren't the same Usos that he was friends with. And Jay's like, or Jimmy's like, if Jay was here, we wouldn't even be talking. LA Knight, well, that's my point. If Jay was here, you guys would be beating me down right now. And he says, Jimmy, if you keep disrespecting the OTC, it's going to be family business. I mean, doesn't that just show LA Knight's right? He's not ever going to get a fair fight if he's going up against Roman. He might need to crew up as well. I don't know. Adam Pearce chatting with his fellow GM Rey Mysterio about giving his fellow friend and GM an Intercontinental Championship match. Ethan Page jumps in and wonders why he gets to jump the line. Rusev shows up. Page knows how to really change things and says that Rusev's getting jumped over by Mysterio. Well, Rusev was not happy about that. Ethan Page knows how to politic back there. He's a smart guy. We got Rey Mysterio against Rusev for number one contender match. I guess later on. I should have probably just put that stuff together. Anyway, before that, though, we got Montez versus Seth Rollins. Obviously, Montez is upset. His partner is helping Seth. And, they're in a match. Seth hits a curb stomp. He beats Montez, and it was an excellent match. I mean, these two can go, but the story is at the end, Dawkins comes down to check on his partner. Austin takes out Dawkins with a chair. And it looks like this is motivating Montez now to maybe team up with Seth to take out the Bloodline. Bloodline. What am I, 2 years ago? To take out the Vision. Seth knows I understand nobody trusts me because I've screwed every single person over I've ever met in my entire life, and I'm a bad person and all this stuff. But if you want to take these guys out, sometimes you got to team up with people you don't like. And I think that's what's going to happen because I know they want that tag team title, the Street Profits. I know Seth wants to, he got screwed over by Mr. Breaker as well and Paul Heyman. So they're going to have to team up. I love to see it. I love to see the Street Profits in this feud. I mean, this has put them front and center. The Street Profits need attention. I mean, I thought they were going to break up a few times because there's always tension between the two of them. This caused tension as well. Well, Montez is now seeing what's going on, and I like it. And that guy, they're both, that tag team's awesome, and I'm glad to see them back with their red solo cups. Finally, Rusev versus Rey Mysterio. Ethan Page sitting at the announce table to announce this and keep an eye on the match. Keeps on calling Michael Cole Mike, which is amazing. Rey Mysterio at one point, laid out of the ring head first over Rusev. Sunset flips him into the outside barrier. 50-year-old man, he can still go, even though he is a deadbeat dad and he is jumping the line for an Intercontinental Championship match just because he is friends with a GM and he's currently a GM. And did I mention he's a deadbeat dad? But man, Mysterio's speed just seemed too much for Russo. Rusev does get a nice sidewalk slam, starts using his strength. Mysterio ends up getting a quick roll-up, ends the match. Rusev tries to attack Mysterio. Here comes Dragon Lee to save Mysterio. The Luchadors get the other upper hand. Rey Mysterio gets his title match. Match heavy Raw. That's 3-4 matches right there, right? So match heavy Raw, I like to see it. And, they got these Raws nice and pinned down right now. They're only 2 hours, 20 minutes. It's perfect. It's perfect. And we got a contract signing. So, we had the first contract signing, Femi at the beginning. Well, we had the end of the show with a contract signing. Fatu signs the contract, then starts throwing furniture out of the ring. Roman then signs the contract and tells the security to leave. Adam Pearce says, I don't think I should. Roman says he just signed a blood oath. He cannot touch me until Italy. Roman says if you lose this match, if you win, you're head of the table. I'm going to acknowledge you, which I doubt, but that's what he said. I mean, that's what he said. But he says if Fatu loses, he's going to make him his bitch. And the funny thing is, Fatu has a way of seeing things on a bright side because he's like, I'm a win-win. If I win, I take you out of business. If I lose, I still got a job around here. It didn't bother him one bit, and I loved that attitude. Holy crap. Really good back and forth. At the end, they shake hands and going forehead to forehead to signify a blood feud is happening. A blood fight. A tribal fight. Tribal rules, which are no rules. I'm excited for this match. I hope Fatu wins it. I mean, if he doesn't, it'd be interesting to see him have Roman's back again and just see how that turns out. Can Roman even trust him to have his back again? I don't know. I mean, I know Fatu just wants something. I don't know what, but I think he's looking for something like this, maybe. In Italy, also Smack Month of Wrestling. I'm trying to say Wrestling Talk. Yeah.
Yes.